As we approach the spring equinox, a time of balance, renewal, and awakening, and to prepare of a new beginning, I want to pause and share a heavy truth, one that needs to be spoken with both heart and clarity. Recently, the world lost Danielle Johnson. Most in the spiritual community knew her as Mystic Lipstick, an astrologer, a spiritual woman, mother, and seeker. Her story did not end in peace, it ended in tragedy, and that is the reason why I want to bring this to light. 2024, Danielle had fatally unalived her partner and pushed her two daughters out of a moving vehicle, tragically ending the life of her infant, and then crashed her own car. Dying on impact, her 9-year-old daughter survived. This all happened under the shadow of her belief that the upcoming solar eclipse was a divine warning, signaling the end of days. Today I want to take a moment to honor Danielle. I want to honor her child who transitioned. I want to honor her child that also survived, who now carries the weight of healing in the memory and possibility of having to love herself and navigate after the aftermath of this spiritual and emotional ending. Danielle, like many of us, was a woman on a spiritual journey, a Black woman rooted in astrology, mysticism, and deep waters of transformation. But somewhere along the way, it seems her path took fracture. Her social media posts before her death revealed deep paranoia, apocalyptic fear, anti-Semitic conspiracy, and overwhelming distress. This is not a story of evil, it's a story of what can happen when spiritual isolation, untreated trauma, and unchecked belief systems spiral into something known as spiritual psychosis. What is a spiritual psychosis? Spiritual psychosis is when one's spiritual beliefs becomes distorted to the point of losing touch with reality, harming oneself or other, or experiencing extreme paranoia, delusion, and the fear of the name of spirit. It's not uncommon for awakening individuals to go through temporarily disorientation, but without grounding, support, or mental health care, that disorientation can become dangerous. Some examples of spiritual psychosis are hypersymbolic thinking, believing that everything that happens is a sign of punishment. Example, waking up and thinking that if you don't make your bed, everything that happens that day is your fault because of that one act of not making your bed. Spiritual guilt loops, believing that you are out of alignment or under attack constantly for small actions. In the Ifa spiritual tradition, a lot of people believe that if things are not going their way, that there are entities that's in their way. There's ancestors that's playing with them, or there are people who are antagonizing them from an unseen reality. And then it drives them to want to seek consultations and do animal sacrifices. We here do not practice that anymore. After learning from my now Baba, who has been my Baba for the last 5 years, has taught me that the only sacrifice that you need is a sacrifice within yourself. But I digress. It is constant that people within the spiritual community believe that if they are out of alignment, that is constantly because of something that they did. Delusions of grandeur or persecution, believing that you are chosen or that you are under attack by dark forces and that others are plotting against you spiritually. Parental spiritual dissertation, projecting adult spiritual beliefs onto children in ways that instill guilt, shame, or fear. Example, teaching a child that not making their bed, eating a certain food, or having certain thought means that they are being attacked by evil forces. This is not spiritual awareness. This is spiritual anxiety and sometimes mental illness dressed as a divine language. It is important that whenever you are consulting in spirituality, that you seek help from professionals as well. It's no different than saying that you are a holistic wellness practitioner and believing that the supplements are going to heal you, but never seeking an actual doctor for your treatments or sicknesses. You have to know when to seek help. So you or someone you love may need it. If so, you begin to isolate in the name of protection. If you notice that, it's a sign of your need to seek help. You are aware of everyday things, mirrors, numbers, food, people, sounds. That's superstition, aka a spiritual psychosis. Your beliefs are creating tension in relationships or pushing others away. You feel like you can't trust anyone, not even yourself. You stop sleeping, eating, or functioning in basic ways. You feel like God, Spirit, is telling you to warn yourself or someone else. Those are genuinely all signs of whenever you should seek help. What can you do? Seek spiritual mentorship from grounded elders. Combine therapy with spirituality. There's no shame in needing both. Stay connected to a community. Isolation feeds delusion. Create routines that stabilize you, not control you. Learn discernment between intuition and anxiety. And just in my final thoughts, as the spring equinox teaches us about balance, light and dark, spirit and flesh, thought and emotion, this could also be a great time to remind yourself that even in darkness, lights can be dark as well, and return back to light. So I hope that Danielle's story be a prayer and reminder, not of judgment, but of responsibility. We carry these things onto our next day to stay supported and grounded, to seek support, and never confuse fear with faith. To the mystic leaders, mothers, and seekers listening to this, your spirit is powerful. Your mind and heart need tending to. Stay rooted, stay nourished, stay human. With deep reverence, Sacred Waters Healing Temple.